I'm sorry I have to say goodbye to everyone this way. I couldn't keep going after the restaurant I vowed to open 3 months ago. Many netizens have advised me against opening a restaurant, but I'm determined to do so. This restaurant truly isn't for me, and I'm ready to close it. Isn't it true that this kid is starting school, and my restaurant is going to go bankrupt? Shouldn't I celebrate when my kid starts school? It's really frustrating. Everyone, please come tomorrow and bring your kids. I'll do this homework for those in 2nd grade and below. I'm not an expert on anything above 2nd grade. This year, it's not a matter of how hard you work. Even if you work yourself to the point of exhaustion, you still won't make any money. Look at the streets, they're cleaner than if a dog had licked them. We're closed. Starting today, we're truly closed. We borrowed 140,000 here and there, and within 3 years, we lost it all. Yes, we're closed. After over 2 years of tireless effort, we finally closed down. This year's business isn't for the impetuous, the heart-wrenching, the high blood pressure, the sleep-deprived, the young, or the elderly. In short, most people can't do it. It's too complicated. I have something to share with everyone. Our Olin store is closing soon. We haven't updated you with videos in the past 2 days because we've been packing up. We'll update you once we've completed the task. The blogger said that Shanghai is really struggling right now, with brick-and-mortar stores closing and selling off everywhere, all at a loss. On the streets of Chinese cities, once bustling restaurants are now deserted, shopping malls are sparsely populated, and the enthusiasm for consumption has seemingly evaporated overnight. Under the shadow of the economic downturn, not spending is becoming a collective choice among the public. A Guangzhou barbecue stall owner said, "Business is nasty this year. I couldn't even afford to pay a single employee this year. 90% of the shops have closed down." The blogger is the owner of a barbecue restaurant in Ningbo. His restaurant, Ding Ding Legendary Barbecue, suffered a continued downturn due to the Chinese economic downturn, ultimately suffering losses of 1.3 million. His restaurant was not immune to the nationwide wave of restaurant closures and officially closed on September 20th. I never imagined the situation would be this dire in the years since the pandemic ended. Despite our best efforts and continued attempts to improve, Ding Ding Barbecue has been deteriorating year by year. Today, we're at our wits' end and are forced to close. It's fierce. We invested a substantial amount of money in this restaurant, and now we are unable to sell it. No one wants it, even if we give it away for free. For such a large restaurant, I found a secondhand recycling company, and they only gave us $7,000. We spent $8,400 on a single billboard, and we have several other expenses to consider. Honestly, it's heartbreaking, but there's nothing we can do about it. I've suffered from frequent insomnia and pain over the past few years, and have certainly learned from this. Sometimes I feel quite pitiful, losing 1.3 million pennies by penny and suffering through 900 nights of exhaustion. I received shocking news today. I heard that the closure rate of brick-and-mortar stores in Guangzhou is as high as 80%. What does this mean? It means that 8 out of 10 stores are struggling, and many are even in dire straits. Every day, the store owner waits anxiously inside, waiting for customers, but few come in. When a customer finally sees something they like, they turn around and compare prices online or with other retailers. Brick-and-mortar e-commerce businesses are locked in a price war, which is having a devastating impact on brick-and-mortar stores. The owner had previously owned a restaurant but was forced to close it after just 11 months. She said secondhand dealers have taken away all the equipment in the store. Ever since I started working in the catering industry, staying up until 5 or 6 a.m. has become the norm. My hair is falling out like a wisp of grass. Every time I look in the mirror, I realize I've aged so quickly. Staying up late is truly detrimental to your health, especially for women. I've been doing it for a year now. My periods are irregular, my heartbeat is arrhythmic, and I've been to the doctor several times. I'm afraid I'll suddenly die at some point. Most importantly, the effort isn't proportional to the reward. There's no point in working in a small shop with no future and exhausting yourself. Frankly, I need to see some profit to persevere. The blogger explained that this was her first time starting a business, and unexpectedly it ended in failure. Since it was her first time in the restaurant industry and she didn't know much, she opted to join a franchise. She's thankful she chose a light asset investment for her first venture. If she had invested $70,000 or $80,000, she couldn't imagine the losses she'd have suffered. The owner of this clothing store is also closing. She rented a space in Guangzhou Sijiqing Wholesale Market in 2017, and it's now officially closed, 8 years after opening. When I first arrived in Sijiqing in 2017, my first job was as a board model. Back then, I was earning a single salary, but I took on multiple jobs to supplement my income. I did everything my boss asked me to do, and even when he didn't, I took the initiative. My salary increased dramatically, and before long, I was earning 1 million RMB a year. Back then, I'd be at the Sijiqing shop at 4 a.m. every day. It was exhausting, but also very fulfilling. During the most challenging year of the pandemic, I decided to open a shop. Back then, it was a small 10 square meter shop with 5 or 6 employees, and in a single year, I made 4.2 million. As the business continued to grow, the staff expanded annually, from a team of 5 or 6 to its current size of 20 to 30. However, expenses and costs also increased, and the burden grew heavier. The blogger explained that the clothing industry has been declining over the past 2 years, and she felt a bit overwhelmed, as if she had completely lost the right to rest. The pressure of working non-stop made her breathless, and she even live-streamed on New Year's Eve. After the Lunar New Year, she sent her 1-month-old daughter back to her hometown. Every night she couldn't help but cry when she thought of her daughter. After much deliberation, she decided to close her shop. She said closing the shop didn't mean stopping, but rather adjusting her pace so she could be in better shape to meet everyone. In September of this year, my store experienced an historic decline in sales. We used to make around $1,400 a day, but this month's average is only $1,000 at most. Compared to the average of last month and this year, our sales this month have decreased by at least 30%. As you are all aware, stores like ours operate regularly online, with monthly traffic, a sufficient number of short videos, and a sufficient number of high-quality live streams. The blogger stated that despite their aggressive promotional efforts, September turned out to be the worst month of the year, with a significant decline in sales. Everyone found it baffling and frustrating. This is my women's shoe and clothing store, which I spent $30,000 to open, and I haven't had any sales in 3 days. Hey everyone, how's your business been going lately? I'm practically going crazy. Though business has been incredibly tough over the past few years, I've managed to persevere. I made $10,000 in sales in May, but to my surprise, the business suddenly fizzled out in June. I just did the math. Today is the 11th, and I made less than $1,400 in sales, which is not even enough to cover my rent. Now, only regular customers come in every day, browsing and trying on clothes, but they don't make any purchases. New customers are practically nowhere to be found. The blogger said that she not only posts videos introducing her products on Douyin, but also posts 10 to 20 messages daily on WeChat Moments. However, no customers are coming into her store to make a purchase. The investment in the clothing business is $20,000 to $30,000 each time, and she's been closed for days on end. Who understands the anxiety this kind of thing feels? Adding new merchandise incurs costs, including rent, employee salaries, and shipping expenses for incoming goods, all of which are significant expenses. She calculated that her store currently has $28,000 worth of merchandise. The first half of 2025 is almost over, and she's still broke. The blogger's restaurant Her Ping Impression is about to celebrate its 10th anniversary, but it will also be closing down. From 2015 to 2025, we've experienced so much in 10 years. Peace Impression created my first pot of gold and witnessed all my growth and transformation. Today, I made a decisive decision to let it go. Actually, I struggled for a long time with this decision. After all, it's been like a child in my hands for 10 years, growing up to become what it is today. I feel so much reluctance to let it go. My anxiety has caused me to grow a lot of gray hair, and the wrinkles around my eyes are so thick they could crush an ant. The blogger said he doesn't want to look back on the past because he doesn't want to feel sad or cry in front of his fans. Today's end isn't the end, it's not a farewell, but a promise we'll meet again. I don't know what's going on this year. I feel like there are more delivery people, couriers, and errand runners on the street than customers, which is very strange. I didn't open it yesterday, and it's still this late today, and I still haven't opened it. I've even paid next year's rent, and the business next to me are all considering whether to pay the rent for the upcoming year. Is business this bad for everyone in September? Or is it just like this here? How's it going in your area?
要跟大家宣布一件事情。
I have an announcement to share today. Our Guangzhou branch is closing. From 20 years ago to the present, it has been a long journey marked by numerous regrets. Sometimes, even when you have everything planned perfectly, there are always things that can't be stopped. The restaurant industry is incredibly competitive and challenging these days. Thank you to our fans who have been with us and supported us along the way. Many of our customers chose us for their first dates, first dinners, and first business meetings. This place carries not only our memories, but also the memories of many of our customers. Over time, many of them have become friends. That's why we don't want to leave without saying goodbye. Words can hardly capture all that we feel. This is near the Central Hospital in Minhang District, Shanghai. I walked over here today and was shocked to see that every storefront on this street is closed and unoccupied. I wonder if the economy is like this now, or if the situation on September 1st is what's making everyone feel like giving up. After 5 years of perseverance, this restaurant owner finally decided to close her business to cut her losses. She explained that she had opened a hot pot restaurant in Chuchang, Tianzhi on February 13, 2020. However, due to the pandemic, many businesses in the mall vacated, leaving only hers. Although her restaurant was well loved by customers, it was still difficult for her to continue operating under those circumstances. She later moved the hot pot restaurant to Wanda Plaza, and some of her old customers followed. She was hopeful, thinking she could finally turn things around. But reality proved harsh. Her expenses continued to outstrip her revenue. Because I had just moved in, the buffet was incredibly popular, and I've always prioritized quality. However, the price of beef combined with the mall fees meant I still wasn't making enough money. Many friends urged me to cut my losses, but I kept working hard, not wanting to abandon my customers, fans, and friends, and considering my longtime employees, among many other reasons. I always thought things would get better, but reality had to be faced. My income had long been disproportionate to my expenses, and the pressure was mounting. Countless nights I tossed and turned in bed, unable to sleep as I dwelled on the store's plight. The blogger said that after countless inner struggles, she finally mustered the courage to let go. Although the process was painful, she understood that one must always move forward. Only by giving up can one gain. Why are so many shops closing down on the street? Because now when people buy something, they just tap their finger and the money goes to a few big platforms in a matter of seconds, leaving local businesses with virtually no connection. Add to that the hype of influential influencers, and one person can potentially steal the business of thousands of stores, leaving street vendors with little to no chance of survival. The online business is growing rapidly, generating significant revenue. At the same time, offline shop owners can only sit on their hands, waiting to sell, only to have another owner take over and continue to lose money, still feeling that they haven't managed their business well. The blogger stated that if this trend continues, ordinary people's money will be spent online, and brick-and-mortar businesses will become increasingly difficult to sustain. I have something unfortunate to share with everyone today. Starting tomorrow, our Jishang copper pot shop located on Jiaozhou West Road in Shandong will officially close. I still remember the winter of 2021, when a group of us would scramble around in the empty shop with blueprints, going through countless iterations before settling on our current style. Our copper pots were also custom-made in Beijing. Over the past 4 years, we have treated every customer with sincerity, transforming them from strangers to friends. And these familiar faces and warm moments have long been etched into the history of Jishang Copper Pot. The blogger stated that the decision to close the shop took a considerable amount of time to make. Looking at the familiar copper pots in the shop and the workstations where my colleagues used to work, I feel a surge of sadness. Finally, I want to express my gratitude for all the encounters and companionship. We're closing our shop, and today I wanted to share a few words from the heart. Those of you who follow me are aware that my husband and I opened this women's clothing store together last March. Over the past year or so, we've truly dedicated ourselves to running this small shop. We personally try on every piece of clothing and touch the fabrics before we buy it, hoping to bring you high quality, value for money products. In the comments under the video, the blogger wrote that closing a shop also takes courage. Growth is not only about constantly moving forward, but also about knowing when to pause, to bravely close one door so that another window may open in the future. The blogger sighed that making money this year has been really tough, as every industry is caught up in intense competition. To secure orders, factories are competing against each other to cut costs and profits. They're assigning the work of 3 people to 2, which reduces stability and increases efficiency. What about the workers themselves? They're also competitive to find work. Someone will take a job when the wage drops from $3.50 to $2.80, and someone will take it when the wage drops from $2.80 to $2.50. They have no other choice but to make a living. The newly opened all-lamb soup restaurant sold out after just a few days. Several other businesses in the area have also sold, like this one, which had been operating for years but couldn't hold on, and also posted a sale notice. The shop above is also new, and it seems to have sold after only a short time. The blogger stated that this neighborhood was once very prosperous, with relatively high rents for shops, but in the past 2 years, businesses have been closing, one after another. That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.